We are already, though, into the ban and protect phase for game number 1. It's going to be breach hardpoint, and to kick things off, it's a ban of high caliber from Goonjar.
All right. Pretty standard stuff so far. That's really as standard as it can get.
Yep.
Flashbang to follow it up. Probably going to see rapid fire, maybe concussions go as well.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised to see possibly the concussion ban. There it is. Theory, I mean, when facing the likes of compLexity on a map of this size, what is something you want to try to target if you're TK to get some slaying in your favor?
It's tough because compLexity, you know, usually they're the ones that are pretty comfortable, like protecting the concussion or banning out something like quick draw. Theory goes after Purifier, so it could be very tough to kind of throw compLexity off their game. I think you have to do something very out of the ordinary to do something like that. Maybe like ban fast hands, do something that they are really uncomfortable kind of playing without, as Nezlo takes out Semtex, so it's Nameless going after that HCXT.
Semtex is a ban that I think we're going to see more and more often. Players are really getting pinpoint accurate with that sticky grenade. Karma is the one to really watch out for when he rocks Danger Close. And those lethal grenades, he can just shut down players. It doesn't matter where they are, what position they're in. He'll make sure it lands right next to him. Rapid fire ban from Parasite. And then finally, Sharp will get rid of Overclock. So
Shiva makes it through.
Almost every specialist ability makes it through outside of the Purifier. The Shiva does make it through as well. And the first one to be picked in the specialist draft is going to be Scythe from Goonjar.
You know, I think you're seeing the Semtex banned out more and more because players are dedicating one class slot as kind of like a start-off class. Kind of like a double EMP, double nade class, just to try to get that early rush advantage.
Hey, on a map like this, double
just
EMPs,
right over that middle height.
Double nades. Talk about just insanity when the match starts on off. Kinetic armor does make it through, so Miracles as well as Nezlo.
Oh, always pick up Kinetic when it's there.
We'll get Kinetic, and on a map like this, Kinetic, you can pop it, and it's one of those that goes away so quickly, but because a lot of the hills are so small, you pop it and immediately just shut players down, get the kills instantly, make it happen very fast. Parasite, again, favoring that active camo. I believe I've seen him use this almost every time I've watched compLexity play breach hardpoint.
You know, I kind of like TK's setup a little bit more with the specialists here. They're going with 3 abilities compared to just the 2 on the side of compLexity. They're going with the Annihilator here because the Purifier got banned out.
I want to bring this up to you because this is something you've been mentioning more and more as of late. It looks like you're leaning more towards the ability specialists over the lethal specialists. What really changed for you in that respect?
I just really feel like the abilities kind of like they have a higher impact on the game just because you earn them more and more.
Okay.
With the specialist weapons, sure, you're able to, you know, get that kind of multi-kill potential with something like the Scythe, and you're able to make big plays with them in their own right, but you only earn them like 2 times, like max throughout a game, like maybe. And even then, like, how many times do we see somebody bring out like a specialist weapon and then immediately they get taken out? And it's like, oh, you got no use out of that Annihilator, no use out of that Scythe, where with something like the ability, you know, like Heatwave, you get consistent use out of that. Kinetic Armor, you get consistent use out of that as well.
You think to last night, we casted it, Crim6, in that flag game versus, I believe, Luminosity. 3 players pushing up. 1 has the Scythe, 1 has the Annihilator. The final one that's alive uses Heatwave. Crim6 takes all 3 of them down. He pulls that flag and out to gaming, run it back to get them the 2-0 lead, which will eventually bring them the series victory.
You'll probably see that in the Sony top plays.
Oh, yeah, I would assume so. That was absolutely disgusting. I think 3 of the most impactful specialists on the team all wiped away just by the one robot himself, Crim6, who gets the job done. Once again, compLexity versus TK to kick things off, and Revan, as these players finalize their classes, get through editing their score streaks. Predictions for this series, who do you think takes it?
You know, even though I do think this is a winnable series for TK, it's pretty tough to bet against compLexity. I think compLexity do wind up taking it in the end, and I think it's going to be something like a 3-1 scoreline.
3-1? I mean, I think what really worries me for Team Kaliber is the search and destroys, from what I've seen from TK as of late, have been very not too good looking.
They've certainly been practicing. Like every time I tune in, you know, they're playing those tournaments, they're playing online search and destroy matches.
And against a team like compLexity, though, where you've kind of seen the slaying power they can bring to the table when all of them are firing on all cylinders, and with TK having 3 of the lowest respawn KDs, and I believe it's Nezlo, Fury, and Sharp, you got to kind of wonder, TK, you got to win the S&Ds, but then you're facing compLexity, who's got the best record, I think, still in Search and Destroy in the COD World League. We'll have to see how the team does.
Sounds right to me. They've played like something crazy. Last time we looked at the stats when we did the mid-season or mid-stage awards, they played like 140 rounds of Search and Destroy. Absolutely crazy.
That's a lot of rounds of S&D. That is That is a lot to get through, and it makes you better and better each time you play as a team. There's a look at Breach Hardpoint. And to kick things off, it's compLexity with early hill control as we get into the game.
Yep, starting things off with Parasite here. As it's going to be TK with early control going along the wall run. As he gets taken out, let's switch over to Goonjar. Never mind, he's dead, but he had a strong start to this game. 3 quick kills for him, as it's going to be Neslo from Team Kaliber set up inside the hardpoint. Gets challenged, Nameless with that RK5. So deadly, but here Sharp to follow it up as TK retake control.
TK out to an early lead this game. Nice, solid start from, well, Fury, Sharp, and Goonjar. Sharp wins that engagement as well.
But they need to keep it up throughout the entire game. They can't slow down as we move into some of the later hard points. Neslo with some huge kills here in rotation. He gets taken down, and TK, they have no presence over near cages right now.
They have no presence, but, you know, they're already out to a 40-second lead. Funny thing to point out, Revan, I'm actually surprised by this because compLexity just love to just get slaughtered in the first 2 minutes of every hard point they play, and then they're like, oh,
it's time to play now?
We're supposed to win the game. Okay, no, let me actually put some effort in. They do have early hill control of cages. TK trying to push from the backside. It's a 3-man entrance through the back door. You've got Ricky watching from the left corner. Goonjar spots him out. And that's going to be a break from Team Kaliber within the first 15 seconds of the rotation.
As soon as you take control of this hard point, you need to send kind of like 1 man forward at least to contest these players in rotation. As TK start to spawn out, it's going to be compLexity now fighting for control inside the hardpoint. But if you could get somebody kind of slaying over near the porta potties here, it's going to make your player inside the hardpoint just so comfortable because they never have to worry about anybody pushing in through that front door.
Yeah, it's kind of funny you mentioned that because TK, they got control of it. They didn't have anybody that was available to push out. They died once. They had no spawns. They spawned all the way near that back AC vent behind green. And, well, they lose control of it. They're not going to get the scrap time. And what was a 40-second lead for TK, down to just about 11 seconds. Was that I believe we just saw an ELO sight on a VMP from one of the players from compLexity.
Yeah, I believe so. I think it was probably somebody like Ricky. Yeah, Ricky's using the ELO on the VMP.
Which is no surprise. I mean, we've seen Ricky be a player who likes to use those
You
dot
really
sights.
only need like 2 attachments on the VMP.
Yeah, and Ricky was one of the players in Advanced Warfare who really did love that red dot sight on the bow, even through the kind of meta shift that went through where it went back towards iron sights at the first event. Ricky still stuck with it for a much longer time. Now trying to make it work on the VMP. TK doing a fantastic job of holding down this hard point and pushing it out towards this backside area.
Now, of course, whenever you're controlling the Palace hard point, you kind of want to control this area where Theory's going to be at. Not only is it going to give you kind of better spawns for the current hard point, but also for the next one as we rotate over towards Splash. But now it's going to be compLexity trying to flank through this area. Sharp trying to contest it for Team Kaliber. He had Heat Wave available, but EMPs being thrown out, he's not going to be able to activate it. And, you know, TK, they're able to kind of regain that lead that they once had in this game, but they're going to be a little slow in rotation towards the next hard point, and this is where compLexity can come right back into the game.
TK, they get all 60 seconds. Yes, they don't have the rotation as of yet, but I think the biggest storyline so far this game is they have a full 4-man. It's a full 4-man effort right now, Revan. Everyone pulling their weight. You've got Sharp at 9 and 7. Fury getting into the action, leading his team in engagements. Neslo and Goonjar both there as well. They're getting the job done. Sharp uses Heat Wave, and he's not actually going to get a single kill with it.
And who's here to follow it up?
Well, Kinetic
Neslo's going to use Kinetic.
And that's not going to do too much. Theory's trying to make a break. Finally, he gets 2. TK do get the break because of a great pinch from Theory from that middle wall run area. TK still with a 50-second lead.
Also, you got to give props to Goonjar. He stayed alive throughout that whole time, just controlling that back area and maintaining control of the spawns for his team as Theory's continuing to do damage inside the hardpoint. Eventually, compLexity will break back in, but TK, they really should give up on the rest of the time here. It's only 10 seconds. And invest it in a rotation over towards the next hardpoint as we move over towards the bottom lab. You already see Sharp trying to fight for position over here, but he was spotted by a compLexity member. Despite that, though, he's going to have early control as soon as I say that. As soon as the hardpoint pops up, he gets taken out.
This is a very good hill for Cole to try to begin to mount their comeback on. Theory goes to the outer wall run outside second hardpoint. He just dies. That was an interesting decision. 3 kills in a row now for compLexity. They hold off the first wave of TK. But here comes another one. 4 players flooding through middle map. The first 2 kills go over to TK. Sharp finds a third of his own. Parasite and Ricky. Last 2 players alive. Beautiful Heat Wave from Ricky to clear out 1 player in the hard point. But look at the pinch coming in right now from TK. You've got Sharp and Neslo coming from the back door. Ricky gets 1 kill. He's doing all he can to stay alive. But finally, it does look like TK will get the number advantage in the hard point momentarily. Last alive here is Parasite. He dies. There's the break from TK with 15 seconds left.
TK are playing really well right now. You know, they're setting up their breaks as a team. They're moving in together. Theory just earned his active camo. That's going to help him, you know, break. He's actually going to waste no time in popping it, getting early position in the middle, but he doesn't pick up the goal. It's actually a team kill from Nezlo right there.
Nezlo kills Theory with his active camo. Unfortunate, but you know, it's one of those that you just got to get over if you're a team. You don't let it bother you too much. You try to go back for a break. Exactly, it does happen. But again, TK just doing a better job of kind of utilizing the map elements itself, Revan. The bottom middle wall runs, the outer areas towards construction where you catch your opponents off guard, flanking through that bottom palace side. Everything working right now for TK as they still have a 40-second lead. Where has this team Kaliber been, Revan?
I don't know. They look like a completely different team tonight, at least at the start of this hardpoint. There's still plenty of time for compLexity to find their way back into this game. But TK, when you talk about their teamwork, this looks like the best it's ever been, you know, as of late. You know, they're setting up to break together. They're watching each other's back, and they're showing trust in each other throughout this entire game.
Yeah, I mean, right now they just continue to trade more efficiently. You've got Ricky at double negative, which is not helping compLexity's cause at all. Last time, Cole did get the early rotation towards the second hard point, but it was TK who were on the early break. Let's see if they can lock it down for a longer amount of time.
A lot of action about to go in Nameless's way as he's trying to maintain control of this area, and the spawns for his team does find one kill. As he's taking fire, he's just going to back up, reload, challenges once again. Gunjar does pick up the kill. Miracle is kind of like, actually it's going to be Parasite, the next player in line, as Gunjar falls off the map, but a lot of abilities available for this compLexity team, as so far they've held on to every single second. Looks like camo just got popped by Parasite. He finds the kill on the Nezlo, as this has been a perfect hardpoint hold from compLexity.
And you know, that camo of Parasite just shows the experience he has as a player. He doesn't use it in many of the ways that other players who use camo do. He is more than comfortable with just getting it to guarantee an engagement win in a crucial situation. Whether it's for that back anchor player, whether it's a pinch coming in and he needs to catch one off guard to give him an opportunity to win the second gunfight. It's exactly what he did there. compLexity, you know, they cut down the TK lead from about 60 seconds down to 25. This, though, is where TK held the last time for the full 60. What if compLexity changed up this time around to give them
They rotated early. TK kind of pushed in. Nezlo used his kinetic armor to break, but there were only like 10, 13 seconds left. You know, a questionable use of kinetic armor there. That allowed compLexity to gain this early control, gain this early position inside the next hardpoint. And now they're starting to find their way back into the game, and they're about to take the lead once again. And I do agree with you that Parasite is certainly one of those players who uses active camo a bit more liberally when compared to some of the other players.
I mean, look at this right now, Revan. This is a completely different Cole, and why does this happen every hardpoint? What is it? Is it that by the time their specialist abilities come up, they use them more effectively? Is it that they just begin to actually play the game of the correct way?
Here was the early rotation, right?
Okay, so you think it's more of a, they're actually playing hardpoint the way hardpoint's supposed to be played?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Nameless now, he's going to take out the Annihilator. He's going to help out Ricky, who just popped his heat
wave.
Oh my
God!
Gets a guaranteed kill there onto Nezlo. Easy kill from Nameless right there as he shoots Theory in the back. And TK, they had some early position to work with over near Glass, and now it's all gone. As Nameless continuing to do damage with the Annihilator, shuts down Gunjar, as now he's looking to control top Glass. He does get shut down, but you got Miracles as well as Parasite doing damage inside the hardpoint as compLexity. They're trying to maintain control. One more player to get past. It's going to be Nezlo. Parasite picks up the kill, earns himself the camo, and Nameless is there to clean up the kill once again.
Those situations earlier on in the game, TK were trading more effectively. Now it's compLexity in full control. It's been a 100-second swing since the first hard point in this rotation, and there's still one more hill to go. What's troubling for TK, Revan? compLexity can win off this hill. They cannot rotate early. They need to get a break right now. And it looks like if one player here, Miracles, gets that gunfight win, and I think that just secured the victory for compLexity.
They're going to be like around 1 point away from winning. Technically, there is a chance.
Yeah, they
but
can.
Let's say TK get a full 60, right? That only brings them to 246. So they cannot win themselves on this next hardpoint, which is that just makes things so much more difficult if you're TK right here.
If you're compLexity right now, do you just wait for all 4 players to be in a perfect position to pinch? Because right now you got Parasite.
You got plenty of time to set up a break.
Coming from the backside, you just need 4 more seconds. You can see Nezlo.
TK really can't lose any gunfights here.
Oh, he's got 2 players pinching. There's the first kill for compLexity. They're going to 3-man stack the back door. Nameless pinches in from the side, and this might be the break that they need. There it is. compLexity will take map number 1 with a final score of 250 to 208.
However, you got to give it up to Team Kaliber, man. They played really well through that map. kind of when that second Palace hardpoint came around, really second cages as well, that's when the game kind of fell out of their hands. They give up kind of like 45 seconds, I'd say, on cages. Then complexity take over in Palace. They're able to break early on over near glass. As we take a final look at the scoreboard here. For the most part, Slang was kind of even across the board. Everybody from TK chipping in. That's what you want to see from them.
I think the big thing, too, though, was Theory at one point at that second rotation towards the cages hardpoint. He was 21-15. He finishes the game. After that, going 2-9. That's really when the score kind of shifted way into complexity's favor. I was going to point out, how well he was doing. At that point, he already had 1:15 seconds. At the hard point, everything was going right. To end that game, goes 2-9 with only 19 more seconds. Nothing was going right.
We literally said it in like the first 10 seconds when TK kind of jumped out to that 40-point lead. They cannot slow down at any point in the game. They slowed down a little bit once the second rotations of hard points came around. That's what allowed complexity to come back into the game.
Absolutely.
And ultimately close it out.
Complexity, they get it done. It wasn't pretty, but, all that matters is the W in the win-loss column. They go up 1-0, and now they're going like this, boys. Next up is Search and Destroy. Ricky, go ahead. Go off, big boy. 1.42 KD.
You think they're just gassing up Ricky right now?
Oh, right now, you got Parasite in the call going, Rick, go off here, man. And Ricky's like, I'm going to, Chris. I just need your guys' help. Plant my bombs, watch my flanks, it's over.
You sound like Kermit the Frog. That doesn't sound like Ricky
at all.
That
sounds nothing like him. And then you have probably Nameless going like, bro, what was that?
You do a pretty good Nameless impression.
Right?
He does use those words a lot.
I'm about to lose full, dude. Right? I think that's kind of what Nameless is.
Pretty spot on.
That's how complexity calls out. That's how they play S&D. They're just like everything, every like stereotype you think of complexity is what happens in the game.
Well, yeah, and those stereotypes come around because people listen to them so much. And how many clips, like how many different odd shots have you seen of them where they just kind of go crazy like that?
This guy's a joke, man. That's just all
Nameless made a YouTube series about it.
I love it. We hope you're enjoying the series between TK and Complexity so far. We're just getting joined up into the next lobby so we can get all set to start off S&D. Now, you got the maps there. What map will we be playing on?
It's going to be Search and Destroy on Redwood.
Okay, so Redwood.
I feel like that's a pretty good map for TK, though.
Yeah.
I see them play this all the time.
Yeah, this is one where, and the reason why I feel it's good is because you can actually force an efficient trade near that A-bomb site. If Complexity elect to only send one player there and TK hit it with all four, even if your first guy dies, you get that entry kill, trade it out, you get the bomb planted, you give yourself a great chance to win that round.
And sometimes teams just trying to blind counter that A-rush, right? And you'll see them kind of stack, 3, not all 4.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be too out of the ordinary to see it.
I think it's more of like the way you counter A on this map is like one player who plays like top control and B, one guy who plays middle map, and then you send 2 to A. Normally it's kind of uncharacteristic to see the full 3-man counter. Typically, if they're going 3-man to A, it's not to hold and counter. It's to go immediately for that flank. You have someone hit the lower wall run. You have 2 push the top tree. Wondering, though, on this map, do we see a sniper presence from TK, or do they try to just say, hey, let's just play efficiently as a team. Let's not try to have someone who's got to make a crazy pick happen.
Well, if you do see it, it's probably going to come from Theory. And I think what we've seen the ban and protect is going to have a lot to do with if we do see a sniper, let's say kind of Complexity goes after something like Overkill. I think that's definitely something that'll limit the sniper play. But Complexity, they're also a team that's probably going to protect the concussion here. I wouldn't be too surprised to see them maybe ban something like Blast Suppressor here as well, because wall running could have a big effect over near that A-bomb site.
Yeah, no, it definitely is something that comes into effect a lot on this map. We've seen the best of the best players fall off time and time again when they forget, hey, maybe Afterburner's banned, Blast Suppressor's not there, they get easily spotted.
Sometimes you just misjudge your thrust as well. And
it's happened to the best of us, trust me. Just ask Clayster. The ban and protect phase now underway. Obviously, Complexity will be starting from the defensive side, and the first ban is going to be Thermal from Neslo, already targeting the snipers on the map.
That's weird because, Theory does like using the snipers, and, nobody from Complexity really stands out. Maybe Parasite could bring out the sniper from time to time. I know he used to snipe quite a bit back in Black Ops 2.
What's funny is they've actually been having all their players practice with the different sniper rifles. They want to make sure they're good with the Locust, with the SVG, obviously, but I've been playing a lot with some of these guys. Miracles has been running the PO6 in almost every game we play. There you call the concussion protect. Great job, Revan. We're the duo with all the knowledge. Let's be real.
Yeah, right?
Matt just kind of...
Maven hasn't played the game since the first double XP weekend.
Maven just talks well, Matt is just holding on to that thread of, I coached Cole, I know what I'm talking about. You and I both know. We got the real numbers. We got the breakdown of the game that you need. There goes the rapid-fire ban, things to look for throughout.
Shiva's still in.
Shiva's still in. Overclock as well, still available.
As well as Afterburner.
Do you now ban Perk 3 Greed? Is that something you do? Force
I
the
would
players?
love to see that.
Like, if you're
I'm
TK.
that kind of guy that would ban something like that.
Yeah, if you're TK,
Honestly, wouldn't be surprised to see a trophy system ban. I think trophies have a huge impact on the way this map is played, especially when you're defending the B-bomb site.
Last time TK banned Overclock, this time they'll ban Overdrive. So Overclock is available. That's going to heavily affect kinetic armor, heat wave, active camo, all things that will now be used. I mean,
what do you think of the Overdrive ban? You think it has that big of an impact on a map like Redwood to justify a ban of it?
I think that it's a targeted ban towards Parasite, because Parasite on a map like
this... Then you give him camo, and he's like, okay, now I have camo.
Oh, definitely. And trust me, you can go back and forth with no matter what decision you make, because then you go, well, you leave Overdrive in, now you let Parasite run rampant with it, especially with, you know, all the Perk 3 they need available. You give him Blast Suppressor as well as Dead Silence with Overdrive. He can seek anywhere he wants on the map. Through the Specialist Strap, though, the biggest question mark for me in this one, Psychosis being picked.
Psychosis is Vision Pulse, the only difference here.
Yeah, Psychosis on this map, the one place it really has a good selling part, yes, is that top A bridge. On the other side of things, though, love Vision Pulse from a player like Goonjar. You expect him to be the guy trying to hold that top lab area.
I'm starting to become a bigger fan of Vision Pulse every time I see it used.
I love it, because you know what? You have a player die, maybe you push out towards the top B bridge, right? You have a player die, you fall back, Goonjar pops it, goes, okay, guys, I see 3 of them here. Let's get that rotation. Let's try to catch them and get them into 3v3 engagement before their 4th player rotates over from, say, bunker.
And then we go back to that situation where, you know, maybe you do that kind of 3-man push through A.
Yep.
You're the lone guy defending B. You kind of sit in the top lab corner. You pop your Vision Pulse. You're like, guys, you need to be a little bit quicker on that fight. I need some help.
Please get here. Goonjar starts throwing whenever he can. There's stuns in the game. He's throwing stuns to try to hold off the push from compLexity. It's stuff like that that makes me absolutely love Black Ops 3. You've been playing a ton. I've been playing a ton.
I play every day.
So
it's like we go to work, where we watch, you know, Black Ops 3 VODs, we cast Black Ops 3, and then we go home and we play more Black Ops 3.
I don't know how I, am not, well, I obviously it's because I love the game, but I've literally played, casted, watched more Call of Duty in Black Ops 2 I think ever in my life. And I've played COD for the last 10 years, 8 years.
I won't go that far to make the statement myself, because
well, you were a poor player, but
I used to put in those 14-hour days.
That's
you know,
true. I'm now thinking back to sophomore year in high school, freshman year in high school, where I did nothing with my life but grind Call of Duty. Even middle 8th grade, Modern Warfare 2 time. Ooh, that was a.
I used to wake up early, and I used to play, you know, a match or two before I go to school.
Oh my God! So prior to school, you get a couple games.
All right, listen, yo. Back in the day, when I didn't have my setup in my room, right, I used to be playing, you know, online matches with my buddies from school. This is back when I got into, you know, the professional scene. I used to play in the living room, right?
Yeah.
And I used to go until godly hours into the early mornings, right? I'd wake my parents up and such, and they would,
Mama Revan would not
get furious. But they used to come out of their room just to check that I wasn't playing, right? I used to shut the TV off and kind of fake that I was asleep while in the middle of a match.
Oh my God.
And then I kind of wait. I'd be like, come on, make this trip quick. You know, either they're going to the kitchen to get a glass of water, and I'd be like, come on. Meanwhile, my team's in the middle of a search and destroy round. I'm sitting still at the spawn, just waiting for them to go back to bed so I can continue playing.
One like equals one prayer for young Revan. In a tough time in his life.
That was the grind.
That was definitely the grind. Mad props with that one. Trust me, I've had my fair share of experiences with that one. But as we head into Game 2, it's going to be TK putting pressure towards middle map. But you can see it's a 4-man stack for middle and B from Cole. This might be the exact setup they need. Neslo does get first blood, though, for Team Kaliber.
All right, it looks like it was the middle stump player that got taken out early on for compLexity. Now, as kind of Redwood has been figured out, as that's a big kill from Neslo right there. We've seen the defense get much more aggressive and kind of much more liberal with where they position themselves on the map as TK win that first round. How do you go ahead and kind of combat that as an offensive team when you're trying to push towards that B-bomb site?
Well, I think one is knowing that they're there, right? Is making sure that your guys crossing bridge or pushing middle know, hey, there's a defensive player all the way pushed up stump. Act accordingly. Don't kind of show your back to that. You got to play around that first. He's the first line of defense to get through. But then at the same time, it's key that you have someone there who's ready to combat them, as in what Neslo did right there. You know, their player middle stump was having to watch top bridge. You had a guy bait himself there. Neslo peeks on around, gets the easy kill, gets first blood for TK, and they trade efficiently from there. It's small stuff like that that can help your offensive round win games. Even right here, TK, they have Neslo watching the backside of things. Yes, he does get taken down, but still, it's already a number advantage again to TK, and it's going to be Miracles and Ricky left in the 2v3.
If Ricky doesn't commit to the reload there, I think he has a good shot at taking out that player. I think it was, yeah, it's going to be Theory over there near the middle stump. But compLexity, their push to beat didn't work out too well, so they're going to go ahead and rotate all the way over towards the A bomb site. And Theory is going to be the guy from TK to spot this out, as he's just going to have good cover to peek out.
This could actually really work out.
Might be able to spot him. He slides across. Can't get the kill.
So that's actually a huge kind of engagement right there. Goonjar thinks that the player's wall running. Instead, though, he gets juked. He falls on back. Sharp has to check this corner. Expect Sharp to slide it out in 3, 2, 1. There he goes. Checks the wrong side. Goonjar now getting tagged up. He's left in the 1-on-2, and this round just completely fell apart for TK.
This was a 2-on-3 round.
Goonjar gets taken down, and the biggest difference there was when Goonjar peeked that corner, the player was jumping in the air, and he didn't see him. So Sharp had to check that left side. He checks the wrong way. TK pay the ultimate price. They lose that round and go down 2-1.
Theory with a really good opportunity to take out Miracles after he planted the bomb, but great decision from, you know, compLexity there just to rotate over. They knew the remaining 3 players from TK were posted up over near B. They kind of catch Theory out on rotation and then fake the 2v2 from there. Ricky with just a lot of position, a lot of cover to work with. Now it's going to be TK back on the offensive, though, and it's going to be a 2-man rush up to mid, and Neslo immediately gets picked off. Goonjar now under fire from the player over near top, and just like that, 3 go down from TK. It's all up to Sharp. He's spotted. Not a lot of room to work with as he's slowly getting cornered in.
So what normally takes average S&D teams 2, maybe 3 defensive rounds to adapt to an opponent's playstyle, compLexity like get it instantly. They know exactly how TK like to play it. They know the presence that they like to put in. And they are just savages on the map. 3 players on defense rush on up like you think they're going to rush a bomb site. Instead, it's Parasite with the help of Ricky and Nameless to just lock that area down. Once you get min-map control, you can clear out that B side and kind of... Your common denominator is that they have to be A. There, it doesn't even matter. compLexity win the round almost instantly. And let's see how close Parasite is really quick to Camo. So... quite far away.
Yeah. Ricky, the closest one, I think, to his specialist ability.
Yeah, I'm wondering, does he have overclock in this class?
No.
No, so Flak
he might have
well.
before.
Yeah. He'll get this bomb planted, will earn himself a dart. TK beginning to rotate as, you know, they saw nobody middle map. This is typically where, though, you have a 4-man push. You have 2 players hit that wall run, possibly. You go for the slide out of room. First blood TK, but they're all stacked! Oh my god, it's a slaughter! Ricky gets 2 kills with the HC. It's Goonjar versus Parasite, the 1v1. Goonjar does have an AR. Parasite with only quick draw grip on this VMP.
Just toying with him.
Parasite's going to go for this high wall run. Goonjar's right above him. They haven't spotted each other.
What
is happening? Parasite gets the kill! One of the most awkward scenarios in an S&D round that I've seen. Somehow
Parasite heard him cling to the tree.
Oh my god.
Then he spots his cankles right above him, like right near his forehead.
That's a female in great shape. I don't think she has cankles right there. She's... I mean, either way, Parasite wins the round, but how is that the second time now where I've seen like 3 players of TK stack up for an HC?
Yeah, you cannot stack like that when you do not have Flak Jacket on. It's just never a good idea.
I mean, that was the easiest kill, double kill with an HC I think I've ever seen. TK's almost lucky they didn't get 3-pieced with it. Yeah. compLexity going with the same setup they had in round 1. Looking for Ricky to begin the rotation. It doesn't look like he's going to play the dart, and he'll push it towards A. He's going to call out what he sees. There's one. And up, boys, get your rotation on.
They're here.
They begin to charge.
I think he just goes for the bomb site after.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. Oh! Okay.
He's kind of staring at the trees like, what did I just do?
He doesn't really do anything after it happens. It will begin to rotate, though, compLexity. Now, what was Cole in this defensive scenario last round after having to protect the bomb, it's going to be up to them to go for the break this time. Kills going in favor of TK. Nameless in the 1v3, and this is one of the toughest 1vX scenarios to break on any map in Black Ops 3 when a team is set up on A. 20 seconds left. Yeah, this is a round win for Team Kaliber.
It kind of makes you wonder how come, you know, teams don't put more of a defensive presence over near this bomb site.
And
both teams winning when they push towards the A bomb site, they get control very easily.
And sorry to cut you off there, I think it's more that I don't agree with the dart play from Ricky right there. I think for middle map, he recognized that they were A because he brought the dart right over.
And then you saw somebody like almost in his spawn.
But if I'm him, I'm actually rotating there instantly. We see no one middle map. He could have gotten there in time to at least have a presence on the bomb. No one from TK had specialists ready to go.
I think TK do kind of like a 3-man push to A here.
You think that's what's going to happen already at the start? It's 2 players going in this general direction. Here comes the third, and yeah, TK, they're going for at least that 3-man presence on A.
And Gunjar, like he should back up here. He needs to play his life and make sure that they don't push into lab.
Well, he's about to get caught off guard from middle map unless he can react accordingly. Nope, doesn't happen. Both teams get the kills at their respective bomb sites, and now Theory, Neslo, and Sharp like, no, guys, turn around, get there quick. Theory will gain active camo, which can definitely be used to try to break the site, but I love this positioning from Miracles. He will get spotted, but still, he's going to buy his team a ton of time.
Could just run back into lab and fight the close range fight.
Oh, what are you doing? No challenge. He's going to get cleaned up. 2v2. Neslo and Sharp, the duo, versus Parasite and Nameless, the duo of their own.
They spot one bottom lab. Little do they know that there's another player that just came out of top lab, and now it's down to a one-on-one. Neslo
Talk about a round
versus
changing.
Parasite. Not a lot of time to work with, only 20 seconds, but he's making the right moves here. He's actually going to come up right behind Parasite. He does spot him here to his left. He will.
Oh my God! Parasite
gets away.
Parasite gets away. He just needed to buy time.
So fortunate.
He does just that. Neslo will hop it. Parasite will check it and talk about a couple of bullets, a small timing that doesn't go in TK's favor. Instead of it being tied up 3-3 with TK, going into a
something
strong
as little
round.
as Neslo not sliding there as he crosses towards mid. Probably could have gotten that kill on the Parasite. A small kind of timing like that leads to a round win from compLexity. They go up 4-2.
Are you surprised, though, to see Cole up right now in the S&D? I think we both say no this one, right?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, but Miracles doesn't even have a kill, so, his team's pretty much playing kind of 3v4 right now. Despite that, they still have a lead, and it's going to be another 8 push here from Team Kaliber. Worked last time. Don't fix if it ain't broken.
TK will try to execute this time, though. The HC will spot the player before they can push through. Theory decides, you know what? I'm not going to play this round, guys. I'm going to go take my pieces of toast out of the oven. Gives himself a couple seconds there.
Who puts toast in the oven?
I don't know, man. I just had to say something. As Sharp will even the numbers back out.
He's dead.
Sharp's dead? No, he's gotten away. Parasite can't get him as of yet. But unfortunately for Sharp, his teammate did perish. So going to leave a 2v3 situation for TK as they try to make sure Cole can't go 1 round away from winning the second map.
Parasite's about to get a good angle on the final player. Sharp makes it down to a 1-on-2. Camo now just acquired, and Sharp taking some more fire. He's kind of in a tough place right now. Does have Heat Wave to use, but he needs to get out of his current position. If he flanks in the bunker right now, he's going to come up right behind Ricky. Could make it down to a 1-on-1.
Oh,
he does spot one play middle map, but he gets spotted as well.
Sharp.
He needs to get out of here. 20 seconds remaining. Sharp taking fire. I don't know how he's still alive. Tough timing there. As soon as Ricky jumped out of bunker, Sharp turned to his right. compLexity win the round. They're now 1 away from closing out the second map.
That was so painful to watch as Sharp just did everything he could to just live. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't work in his favor. TK, they struggle to really just make the rounds happen. You can't afford to have Theory fall off in a round 7 scenario where you're down by 2 rounds.
Are compLexity about to win with Miracles not getting a kill?
I mean, if there's any team that could just have 3 players perform well and 1 slack off in S&D, it's compLexity.
Kinetic intro to B.
It looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. Nameless charging out. He does get Heat Wave, will get taken down. Already 3 kills in favor of TK, and just like that, Ricky's left last alive. He knows where both players are, though. So that information could be very key. Is force the player to peek out right. Not going to land a shot, though, from range. Ricky getting tagged up with the headshot on the Theory, though. Makes it a 1-on-1.
Gunjar probably called out that Ricky was weak right there.
Oh, my God.
And that's why Theory peeked back out, and Ricky makes him pay.
Oh, that's a small... I've never actually seen that before. Jumps up, spots through the bunker crevice. He didn't see the player rotate, though, so... Oh, my God, Gunjar, you could get the best timing in the world on a Ricky. Ricky going to go towards that top window, and it's... Oh, my God, it's Neslo again. From that round earlier on where the timing just works out for Cole. He'll turn on a round, though. And okay, TK, you get 1 round. Still down by 3, though.
They did use Heat Wave there.
You want to get this round win.
At the beginning of this next round, as we move into round number 9, I got to see what kind of specialist abilities are available.
I think
for both teams. I know there's Kinetic.
Yeah.
Camo probably from Parasite.
I feel like we watch Nameless for this next round with Kinetic Armor to see what he can do.
All right. Let me just flip through real quick. TK, what do you got? You got Camo, you got an HC, that's it. compLexity, you used Camo in that last round. No Heat Wave, you got Psychosis and Kinetic.
Miracles, hey, he has a kill, though.
Yeah, you got 1 last round.
So he's done more in that last round than the rest of this game. TK going to try to push towards this B bomb. That would have been a great round for Nameless to flood on out with that kinetic armor. They'll just wait, though. The bomb will get planted at 4v4 scenario. Who's this in the back of the map from TK watching their flank? It's actually going to be Fury in charge of making sure no one can pinch from A.
And now it's going to be complexity.
Oh my god.
Moving forward, nades coming out from Nameless. Does connect on that player, and now it's going to be Miracles, pops the Psychosis while Nameless leads in with kinetic armor, make his way up towards the bridge, takes some fire, and he's going to get cleaned up. Miracles not here to trade the kill. 25 seconds left on the bomb timer. Parasite finds two, and it's all down to Theory, the player who is watching the flank for Team Kaliber, but he does have camo. He's got to use it right here. He pops it, finds one, takes on Parasite, now moves towards the bomb, sees the player defusing, can't finish the kill.
No.
Ricky turns it and burns and finishes with 11 kills to his name as complexity close out map number 2.
Ricky, again, showing, guys, this is my turf. Search and destroy. This is my game mode. Complexity, they win map 2, and they go up 2-0 in this best of 5. Uplink will be the next game mode. What map will be, Revan?
Infection.
Infection Uplink. Oh, and that's scary if I'm TK, because I've actually seen Complexity play very well on this map before.
Yeah, and you know, when you speak about like the assault rifle presence from TK, I really feel like they're more of like an SMG-oriented team, right? Aside from Gunjar, who's going to be their primary air player, when you think of kind of Theory and his objective work, same with Sharp, Nezlo, that kind of aggressive SMG slayer, who's it going to be from TK to step up and run that secondary, maybe even tertiary assault rifle here?
And it's, first of all, I love the word tertiary, but second, it's a very awkward map for some machine gun players on Infection, because it's one where you make a lot of your decisions based off of the success of your AR players.
You probably have to use something like the CUDA here to help you out a bit
with range.
At those medium to long range gunfights.
Yep, but I think it's one where if your AR players, don't clear out the first line of defense, or they don't get those couple crucial kills in those long range sight lines, what can your subs do? They can't focus on grabbing the objective. Yeah, they can try to flank, but they can go on a super long flank. They get turned and shot. That wastes a ton of time. Ooh, TK.
Maybe you got to use like smoke grenades. Try to close the gap.
I mean,
and make the assault rifles be a bit more comfortable.
TK, they do love smokes in Uplink. Do Complexity realize this and just ban that out?
That's going to be, do they do their homework? Have they been watching some of TK's previous games? Do they know kind of their tendencies? Or are they just feeling confident going to this match saying, you know what?
Yeah.
We're sitting up top. We're like 9-6. TK, they're at the bottom. We got this.
We can make this work.
Yeah.
Hey, Complexity, you're going to have to close things out here. Well, not going to have to, but you hope to see them close things out here, as that'll be a great 3-0 night for them, looking strong again, because once again, how many times we say it? 1 week, it's Complexity. This team could potentially be top 3 in the game, maybe even top 4. Then the next week, you're like, are we sure this team isn't supposed to be in 8 through 12, like in the relegation zone, or what's going on here? Tonight, it's looking like the Complexity that they want to have through the Stage 1 finals. TK, now you're in the Uplink and CTF game modes, and this is something I want you to kind of speak on. The difference of a game mode like this and CTF compared to that of Hardpoint. What is it? Why are these so much more toss-up oriented compared to the likes of a Hardpoint?
Well, one, you kind of have like a neutral objective.
Okay.
Whereas in Hardpoint, the objective, sure, it is neutral when it spawns up, but it comes in a linear fashion, like you know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
As that time expires. So you got to account for the fact that you have a moving objective, and Uplink, it's going to be the neutral drone. 2, you're going to have the respawn delay. That's going to play a big factor.
True.
Inherently, it's going to slow the game down a little bit, because you play on the fact that, okay, my opponent has 3 players dead. I have 5 seconds before they all spawn back up, and we could use this opportunity to push up on the map and take control. And it's played completely differently than Hardpoint, of course, because, you kind of approach it in waves, especially on Infection, right? You get 1 wave of kills, you could push up, establish control on a part of the map. You get another wave of kills, you push up, you kind of take control of their tank, you get that 3rd wave of kills, then you could think about scoring after that. But now we're moving into the ban and protects. Complexity looking to close out the game right here, right now, and get a swift 3-0 over Team Kaliber. We're thinking they're going to ban something along the lines of the smoke grenades here. The first one coming out from Team Kaliber, it's going to be the overdrive ban.
Now, let me ask you about this, because I've been having this conversation with a few people across the last couple of weeks. Of the 4 game modes in Black Ops 3, which do you think communication is most important?
Capture the flag.
So you still think CTF?
Yeah.
Because I think you can make a very strong case for Uplink as well. I mean, it's a little bit more hectic.
I think you can make a case for every game mode.
You definitely could. You definitely could. I mean, hell, Hardpoint, the amount of engagements you're in is nuts, and then you need to make sure you execute correctly, you
I
know
think
exactly
something like
you get the
Hardpoint,
trades, but
it's a little bit easier to play solely off your mini-map.
yeah.
Search and Destroy, I think it kind of goes map to map, you know, something like Stronghold. Communication so damn important just to make sure it's effective there. But just in general, I think CTF, just because it's a game mode of perfection, right? You make one mistake, you let one player slip by, it'll come back and bite you, and you could lose a map just based off that one missed thing.
I call bias to your Black Ops 2 days. You just want to make you look like an even better player, that your communication was good. That's why you were able to perform so well.
It through.
Smokes do make it through. The overclock, overdrive camo, not something combo, not camo.
I think now you go for 2 weapons.
Now you think you go for 2 weapons?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they've already got Scythe from TK, Heatwave from Sharp, Miracles with that kinetic armor. Still, obviously, possibilities for 2 weapons set up from either of these teams.
I think kinetic armor, Heatwave are the 2 abilities you go for than something like the Scythe. And I like the Tempest more than the Annihilator, and Parasite's going to take it out here. I can't wait to see him put that to use. You take away his active camo, he's going to take out a Tempest on you, and Theory's going to pick up the Tempest as well, so he's shifting a little bit away from the Annihilator.
It's funny to think that
mirror matchup.
It's funny to think that the Tempest has gone from being like that one like shunned weapon that no one wants to recognize, like in the family portrait, that you're like, oh, I can't believe the Tempest is even there, to now being like the shining star who gets like A's on all their tests and is the pride and joy of the family. It's impressive, man. I mean, I interviewed Clayster this last week. He said, I would say that the Tempest right now is probably the second best lethal specialist of all the weapons.
Ooh, actually, you could certainly make a case for the Purifier.
Okay.
I think for sure Scythe is number 1, and you see that for good reason because it's picked in like every single game that you see. I think number 2 is a toss-up for me between the Tempest and the Purifier. Both have their pros and their cons, right?
Yep.
Purifier, you can't do anything at range, but you can hit fire, you could aim in with it, and you could really zone out your opponents. Tempest, you get that 1 shot, 1 kill. You do have some zoning capabilities with it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't last as long as something like the Purifier does.
I think for me, the big difference between the 2 is the versatility of the Tempest, right? You can hip fire it up close and still make it viable up close, which something you can't do with the Annihilator. Obviously, from range, it completely shreds. It's still one-shot drone carriers. But the difference for me is you can use it in Hardpoint, in UPLINK, and in CTF. You can put it in all 3. Purifier, you don't really see it in UPLINK and CTF.
We did see it once. I think Legal brought it out on like an evac uplink.
Yeah, that's because he like accidentally like went 2 over from the actual specials he wanted and picked it. But getting back into this game, it's TK down 0-2 in the best of 5. TK, a lot of dedicated fans. They're always tweeting me with the sad Pepe meme of the TK hoodie when TK loses, because they lose a little bit. I get it quite often in my mentions. I'm supposed to be the TK good luck charm, and right now my powers are not working as complexity find themselves just 1 game mode away from being the victors in this match.
TK started off strong in that search and destroy. They fought.
They also started off strong. They also started off strong in the hard point.
Yeah, they had a good showing in the hard point. I think they played some good hard point up until the second rotations of the cage and the palace. But now it's a completely new game mode. They need to leave the previous 2 kind of behind them and win 3 straight if they want any hope at winning this series versus complexity. This would be a huge win for Team Kaliber, a team that's on the cusp of breaking out of the relegation zone. As we move into Infection Uplink, do you think there's a chance for TK here?
There's a chance, which is what I hate when people respond to me on those questions. Yes, there's a chance. There's always a chance. Do I think it happens, though? No.
Speaking of break-off classes, Danger Close being used here by Parasite. He's got 2 Semtexes to throw at his opponents off the break here.
He's just going to chuck them right towards middle map. It's not going to connect with anybody on the
first
one.
But zones them out, right?
It does zone them. If they were going for that early push, they would have been stopped by him right away. Parasite does strike first blood for his team. Has 2 players inside the B site. The MR6 does make it through. One of Parasite's tools he loves to use. And there, Nezel gets the better of him as TK gain early B site control.
Miracles has a big job to do here. These are huge kills that he can make.
This is what we were talking about, though, with the submachine guns. With your ARs dead, with no presence on the map, how do you play that as a sub?
Miracles was like, yeah, there's nothing I could do here. I'm just going to try to slow them down a little bit. And Parasite, he needs this is an important position for him to hold. That's a huge kill right down. That's going to be 3 down for TK. Parasite does spot the 4th as well. So as his teammates kind of rotate over, he's going to continue to challenge this kill. Does connect there on the Gunjar as he pushes forward. His teammate Miracles will be picking up the drone, and he decides to just toss it for yards.
Parasite is a player that has been playing a ton as of late, always streaming, always playing 8s or scrims or tournaments. It's been definitely paying off for him. You can see in the confidence in his gameplay. Right now, though, TK with full map control.
Yeah, they have all the lanes pushed out.
They've pushed every single lane out. Actually, Gunjar, because he's in that position, forces the players to spawn up in that back grave area. compLexity, they do have a chance to hold off their base. And with that first kill for Miracles, I think they've just done it.
Yep, as they pick up the kills, they can now push out. But Gunjar has control of the compLexity tank. He finds 2. Can he make it the 3rd? He put down some good shots, but now the compLexity players are coming off of respawn. He needs to have that kind of internal clock.
Ricky.
And, well, yeah, the grenade comes in. No flak jacket still being used by the TK players, as it's going to be compLexity now with control of the drone, and they're going to decide to run it through the snow street here.
And, you know, a little bit of an uncharacteristic route. We've seen pressure here quite often, but at the same time, more players do like to go more towards that driveway side of the map. Ricky will go for the 1-point toss.
Nice.
He connects with it. He'll also possibly get a second kill on Neslo. Yes, he does. Unfortunately, though, not going to earn himself the lightning strike. Theory does a great job of clearing out his base. compLexity strike first. Now they just need to hold on to this 1-0 lead for the next 8 minutes, Revan, and they take the series. Look at that name.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That was too funny. He just follows him. Ricky cleans out Gunjar. compLexity, you can see the pressure they immediately put on their front tank. What does it do for your team when you still have control of your front tank area on this map?
You could comfortably, you know, push up and fight for middle map control is what it does, because you don't have to be worried off the spawn that somebody from the other team is going to be there shooting you in the back, shooting you in the side as you try to push up and rally towards your teammates. But something that I'm not seeing from TK at all is, 1, the use of flak jacket, and 2, the use of grenades. So you saw early on how grenades are having an impact, but they're still continuing to do damage to these TK guys. You know, they're zoning them away from those middle B stairs and forcing them to fight these unfavorable engagements, and it's really hurting them when they're fighting for map control. Finally, we see Sharp take out some syntax stairs. He takes down Nameless.
compLexity are just more than happy with rotating this drone towards street. You'll see Parasite begin to reset his armor. Miracles does get that first kill. Gets enough time to possibly go for a 1. Oh, that's a tree. Sorry. Obviously, the indigenous redwoods here on the infection map.
500 years old.
Yes. Block that drone from going in, and just like that, TK, they're in a great place to potentially get a score in, as they've got control of the front tank. They've got number advantage on the map. TK, though, they do lose the first engagements near that front tank area. Just like that, Theory's last alive.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that he has control of his enemy's tank, because he's the only player here. He does have his Tempest to use. There's a player kind of right next to him. It's going to be Miracles cleaning him up. Gunjar is getting closer and closer to getting his scythe as he pushes over towards the B stairs. He will spot a couple of compLexity players. Let's swap over to Ricky. Good use of the ledge slide there as he makes his way towards cover. It's going to be Theory using the Tempest right here. Let's see if he can stop Ricky.
Picks it off. Heat wave used though by Ricky. He'll take down Theory. No one else there from Cole, so okay. You trade specialists.
You also force the Tempest out of his hands, so he has to re-earn it.
Yeah, he does have to re-earn it. I actually think that kind of works out for Theory, though. Because
yeah, he didn't want to use it after.
Instead of that missing and him dying and his Tempest having to fully recharge, he holds up the score, and it's already 60% of the way there. So if I had to pick a team that kind of won that engagement, it's definitely far and away TK.
Miracles popping his kinetic armor here as he's trying to push forward, finds a couple of TK players, but he runs out of ammo. Is he going to decide to re-challenge? It's not yet, as there are less than 30 seconds remaining.
From Green Hallway could be good. Nameless does get the kill on the Sharp. The Gunjar's there for the trade. Ricky wins the long-range engagement with the AR. 2 players from TK there still to try to make something happen. Miracles finds his way towards the back tank side. This should be enough time for a dunk. Ricky makes the lead 3-0 as compLexity are now in a 2-possession lead.
Oh man, if Parasite stayed alive right there, Nameless could have jumped over the wall and kind of tossed this one forward. He's going to go for the bounce toss right here, but it's going to get intercepted just short by Nameless. So going into the second side, compLexity, it's not a large lead by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a lead. So, you know, if
no perk 3.
They just kind of keep it going to the second half. They'll walk away with the victory here.
Parasite electing not to use a single perk 3 on this class. But really quick, let's take a look at where the two teams stack up slaying-wise through the first half, because obviously TK, they're down right now. It's pretty even between these teams. Neslo, really the one that's lagging behind most for Team Kaliber at 7-13. Need to see him have a monster side too if TK want to battle back into this one. compLexity just 4 minutes and 50 seconds away from winning this series with the hot 3-0.
And Parasite goes back to that danger close class. He's going to have 2 Semtexes that he threw out earlier on in the round. He also used his Tempest. Then get a chance to see how he decides to use that.
complexity, they win the break. Power System go for the long one. Connects with it, 4-0 lead. But TK, they do regain some map control. This could work out for them in the long run.
Yep, it's going to be Miracles kind of holding on to his team's tank, but he's got an SMG. Back to how we were saying, he needs to pick and choose his battles here. As now both teams really just trading kills. Coming around the back, it's going to be Nameless from the B staircase. He has his sight to use, but Sharp with the SMG just evaporates him, deletes him off the map. As not TK, they're going to push forward, and they got some good positioning to work with here.
They still haven't picked up the drone, though. I mean, finally now Fury will get it. They do have 4 players up on the map. 2 players left from complexity to try to hold off their base. Here comes Theory with the objective. He's going to rotate this one towards the green tunnel.
I don't like this.
Yeah, not sure if I agree with this decision as well, as Ricky's ready in that power position. And TK, their push gets completely stopped. They had an AR presence from Goonjar on the connector side of the map. Now complexity will rotate it towards B Street. Miracles drops that objective down, loses that engagement versus Neslo, but hey, he's got a teammate there to trade it out. Theory, though, has re-earned that Tempest because, once again, earlier on, he caught the drone, so instead of it fully resetting, he'll do it again.
Here, yeah.
I actually kind of like the decision. I don't mind him doing that because it lets him grab that objective and try to get those scores on the board, which is what his team needs most.
So the one reason why I hate kind of the play Theory made with pushing the drone through the green alley right there is because complexity, they're spawning up, like, right there.
Yeah.
It's such an easy kind of kill to make, as great use of Heat Wave.
Second time this game where he's used his Heat Wave to shut down a lethal specialist of TK.
It's going to be Nameless now taking out his sight as he's going to be escorting the drone carrier and Parasite. Picks up 2 kills right there. They line up perfectly. He's going for the 3rd Nameless as his teammate puts in the 1-point toss. Complexity going up by 5.
It's a 3-possession game. Ricky's going to fall back, grab the drone, and continue to slowly push it up towards Barn. Love this decision from him. You know, hey, no reason to try to force anything. Let me just play for map positioning. Gets 1 kill. Weakens the player, goes to challenge. There it is on the Sharp. He'll also fail to get out with his life.
He gets body blocked by his teammate.
He's done enough damage with it. The drone will reset, which actually does work out for Team Kaliber, as it's going to force complexity to have to rotate back towards the middle map.
TK need to find a way to get some offense going here. They use a Heat Wave in a defensive manner there to clear out Miracles from top church. It's going to be Ricky holding on to control for his tank, and yeah, you see TK starting to bring out some nades of their own. Good to see that they made some classes with that, because clearly it's working out pretty darn well from the complexity guys.
Ricky calls it an HC. Neslo and Theory pick both players off their front tank. Oh, crispy shots from Theory there.
Take out the Tempest.
He's going to take out the Tempest, and this is a scoring opportunity, the offensive opportunity you spoke about. He's going to begin to peek on up. Misses the first one, gets a 2nd kill. That's going to be a 1-point toss that goes in, and Theory whiffs, what, 4 of his 5 shots that he took right there?
Yeah, that's rough. If he's able to connect on a couple more there, maybe they could go in for the dunk, but at least they do get 1 point on the board. So now it's going to be a 2-possession game for Team Kaliber.
How do you use these specialists right now if you're complexity? Do you save them for a perfect moment defensively, you think?
Yeah. There's no reason to, you know, kind of waste them going for more points. You already have the lead. If you're looking to solidify the lead and maintain control of the map, that's how you need to use these specialists now.
Kinetic armor gets tagged up. That should have been just enough to kind of force that specialist to go away. There's Sharp on the flank through green tunnel. Kills being traded left and right. Not much armor left on Theory. Right here. Sharp loses that engagement. Theory could go for a 1. He will, but that might be over. Yeah, he misses wide. Not wide, but just over in general. Aims a little bit too high. And
complexity, they're going to leave it back here.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Nameless pick this up and just throw it back down on the ground. Instead, no, he'll begin to rotate it towards Snow Street. He can wait all day long with only 50 seconds remaining, Revin. This looks like the hot 3-0 on TK.
Wow, that is something I wasn't really expecting. I thought TK, they were turning things around. They're looking like a new team, but so much time being wasted here by complexity,
Wow.
Because of that mistoss from Theory, it doesn't go in, and it gives complexity so much time to work with.
Parasite is a Tempest. He'll rotate this drone through middle map. If he can hold on for just a few more seconds, this might be done. And yeah, Revin, this game is going to be over. Complexity take the series 3-0 over TK. Just like clockwork for them, man. They check into the match. They win the series with the hot 3-0. They play the way they want to, and they check out. Right there, TK, their struggles continue as they drop another match in the COD World League stage.
I felt like this is, you know, pretty standard complexity, right? They start off a little slow in the hard point. They find a way to kind of claw back in.
Yep.
They don't take too many risks. They play safe. They play standard. And they just outlast their opponents. As you're going to see Ricky here in the round ending kill cam clean up the final kill under Sharp as we take a final look at the scoreboard.
Great series from Ricky after a slow start at the hard point. He really turned things around. Goes 11 and 5 in the S&D.
And it's not like complexity, completely blew TK out of water in terms of slaying. For the most part, TK were hanging in there. It's just when it came to finding opportunities to score it and translating your kills into offense, that's where TK struggled here in UPLINK.
Oh, for sure. So, TK, not going to work out for you there as complexity take the series. There's a look at the winning squad. Ricky, 26 and 18, getting it all done for his team. It doesn't matter if it's S&D or Respawn game mode. His AR presence will be felt, and he lets everybody in the game know just that. And biggest takeaway from the series for complexity, if you had one thing.
You mean like positive or negative? A positive, your teamwork is great. You guys are looking really good. Once again, you look like a top team in the game.
Yeah.
Let's see, you can consistently look like that now. Try to work out some of those small kinks you have. I think for this team, where it really hurts them is some of the very small, minute mistakes they make.
Yep.
They make kind of like a small mistake, a hesitation on rotation, and then they just completely blow it out of the water, right? And then that's when it seems to go downhill.
I think bigger thing, too, about this, I believe yesterday complexity got 3-0'd by H2K.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I won the bet.
Wasn't paying attention to what the bet was. Either way.
You don't remember?
Nope. They bounce on back.
S&D match?
They bounce on back. There's a look at the standings after that win for complexity. They make a 1-1 week. They end off this week at 10 and 6, and look at TK. They dropped to 5 and 11. I mean, they've got to be praying for a TSM loss. They've got to be praying for a Luminosity loss later tonight. Heck, even an H2K loss, anything that can help them out in the overall standings. It's getting to that point where TK, the destiny will no longer be in their hands.
However, if those two teams do manage to pull out a win, TK, they will be down by a week.
Yeah.
There still is some time left, but as we were saying, coming down to like some must-win matches.
Absolutely.
Like you just need to find a way. Maybe you throw something crazy out there in the banner protects just to, get a cheesy win. Win is a win at the end of the day.
You said it best. A win is a win at the end of the day. Complexity, they're the ones that get it on this day. They go 3-0 against Team Kaliber. That's just half the action here tonight on the secondary stream. Up next, we have Dream Team versus TSM. Don't go anywhere.